Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star Part 296 based on novel. So let's start. The human team had come up with many plans before the war regarding how powerful the humans were, relative to the United Forces Alliance. When they were fighting, the human team immediately realized how powerful the United Forces Alliance was, and the human team was at a disadvantage. The human race tried to keep showing their weakness so that the real body of Father God would come out. However, Universe Masters led by Darkness Master couldn't resist the attacks for long. If they kept displaying their weaknesses, they might be crushed. That was why Luo Feng decided to counterattack. That's their plan. The United Forces Alliance was terrified. Father God was also scared. They had been at an absolute advantage at first. He did, indeed, want to emerge and fight the human team in close quarters, as that way, he could wield more power. As for Luo Feng, he was afraid that the Universe Masters of his own team wouldn't be able to resist the attacks much longer, which was why they had enacted the backup plan so soon. Humph! Why are you so smug? Father God shouted. You just got the strange valuable by luck. Without that strange valuable, you would definitely have loss. Luo Feng held Star Tower, standing in the space of the dark universe and shaking his head. Pengong Master shouted, how big of a loser are you to search for excuses for losing the war? You don't have the demeanor of a Universe Supreme Master, Father God. I despise you. The two teams stood in the area, yet neither team was willing to back down from the dispute. However, neither of them was fighting. The human race realized that only Universe Supreme Masters were outside the palaces, so they couldn't kill them. As for the United Forces Alliance, they knew that they would be totally crushed if they kept fighting. Shock Demon Ancestor, Dream Demon Ancestor, Father God, and Bug Empress, shouted Luo Feng. He glanced at the three powers in the distance. Some Universe Masters of your races are kept in my Star Tower. Do you want them back? Of course, we do, said the Black Oval. Both the Silver Snake and the Sawtooth-shelled Strange Beast looked at Luo Feng, and so did Bug Empress. The voice of Bug Empress sounded seductive, despite the fact that she did not intend it to. She had been born that way. Name your price, she said. It's simple, Luo Feng said. For the next era, the Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters can't enter the human territory. If you can do that, I'll give you back all the Universe Masters detained, as well as their true treasures. This is the only requirement, said Pengong Master. Do you agree? Luo Feng gazed at the Supreme Masters from the Three-Race Alliance. He was well aware that winning the fight against the United Forces Alliance greatly improved the human circumstances. However, if those neutral powers and lone Universe Supreme Masters attacked them, it would be a nightmare for the humans. If they could keep the United Forces Alliance out of the war by holding some Universe Masters hostage, their situation would be much more advantageous. The four Supreme Masters transmitted their voices to converse with each other. We've already risked everything for this war, said Father God. After this fight, I now realize we alone will not be enough. Those powers who wanted us and the human team to suffer great losses will definitely pick a side in the future. We should wait until those powers act. After that, we'll join again. With our combined powers, it'll be easy to get some inheritances. That's right. We've come so far, so there's no way for us to back down, said Dream Demon Ancestor. Those who have the best chance to become Universe Supreme Masters are all living in the miniature universes, said Shock Demon Ancestor. Even though there will be a loss of Universe Masters, most of them are of other races. I agree, said Bug Empress. They reached a consensus immediately. Compared to the inheritance, the losses they would suffer were bearable. After all, they had come prepared for losses. Golden Horned Beast, Luo Feng, and Pengong Master stood side by side in space, waiting for a response. Do you really expect us to compromise after you have killed so many great beings of ours? Said Father God angrily. We'll let you win this time, but you'll regret it soon enough. It seems they've rejected the deal. Luo Feng strolled along with Star Tower in his hand. You're sending these Universe Masters to their death. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor, I told you last time that you would suffer greater losses. Next time, you won't be able to negotiate. Negotiate. Next time, you humans will be annihilated. Go. Go. The United Forces Alliance disappeared from the Dark Universe without saying more. Darkness Master stepped out of Black Prison Tower. Pengong Master clenched his teeth. Those bastards. The United Forces Alliance will return again. Darkness Master also looked anxious. Besides, many more will come next time. The United Forces Alliance is not giving up. Of course, they won't give up, said Luofeng coldly. The opportunity to transcend incarnations is invaluable. Besides, most of the Universe Masters we captured are from other races. Even though they'll be upset by the losses, it's acceptable to them. For what it's worth, we've won big time, said Darkness Master. Let's go back first. Okay. Okay. Luofeng, Pengong Master, and Golden Horned Beast flew back to Boat of Mausoleum, and Darkness Master flew back to Black Prison Tower. Boat of Mausoleum and Black Prison Tower left the Dark Universe and went back to the original universe, rushing to the Primal Secret region. Inside Star Tower, the 16 Universe Masters from the United Forces Alliance were separated. 2 were from Demon Race, 1 was from the Automaton Race, and 1 was from the Bug Race. As for the others, they were all from other races. Only 20 Universe Masters were actually from the 3 races of the United Forces Alliance, while a total of 112 Universe Masters had participated. The others were all from the subsidiary races and other races. Only a small portion of them were actually from the 3 races. As for the 16 Universe Masters detained, were from the 3 races, so the percentage was already relatively high. Those 4 were detained in a sealed space, while the other 12 were detained together in a different area. A voice was transmitted into Star Tower. Do you really expect us to compromise after you have killed so many great beings of ours? It seems they've rejected the deal. The negotiation was transmitted in. Damn it. Bastards. Those goddamn bastards. They're willing to let us die just for their own ambitions. The 4 great beings from the 3 races were calm, yet the other 12 Universe Masters of other races cried with outrage. They were all from weak races. Some of them were actually the only Universe Master in their races. What would happen to their races if they died? Although the United Forces Alliance had made a promise to them as to what they would do if the Universe Masters died, it was very easy for a race to be bullied if it had no Universe Masters. Even if the Demon Race, the Automaton Race, and the Bug Race could help them, the 3 races couldn't do anything once other pinnacle races, like the Prison Race, decided to annihilate them. The most they could do was save some lives to allow the race to continue breeding. The 12 Universe Masters of other races swore in anger. As for the other 4, they were angry, but they had to obey the Universe Supreme Masters. Only 3 of the Universe Masters had multiple bodies, but they were not ready to self-destruct yet, as they were still waiting for a chance to get out. After all, they didn't want to give up their bodies and true treasures so easily. It was pure rapture in the main palace of Primal Chaos City. Primal Chaos City leader stood on the stage of the main palace and looked down at the Universe Masters, excited. Universe Masters, congratulations. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you all. The 3-race alliance was indeed formidable, but they were still defeated. To the glory of the humans, the glory of the Hong Alliance, and the glory of every one of you. Let's drink up. Everyone was cheerful. Those Universe Masters who had been anxious before were all exhilarated. Even Primal Chaos City leader was elated. As for Luofeng, Darkness Master, and Pengong Master, they temporarily forgot about the United Forces Alliance's unwillingness to compromise and celebrated the victory. Soon, the Universe Masters started to talk with each other, and Luofeng was the one who received the most attention. After a long while, Luofeng and Primal Chaos City leader walked out of the main palace. They didn't agree, asked Primal Chaos City leader. Luofeng shook his head. It not unexpected. Those 4 old fellows have great ambitions. However, we need to enact another plan. Okay. Primal Chaos City leader nodded. It may be less ideal than their compromise, but it can still empower us. Another plan was to drive a wedge between them. Most Universe Masters in the United Forces Alliance were from other races. They didn't hold absolute loyalty to the three races, and they certainly weren't about to die for them. That was why Luo Feng had purposefully allowed the conversation during the negotiations to be transmitted into Star Tower. They all have avatars in their own races and avatars in the central region of the United Races Alliance, said Primal Chaos City leader slowly. They originally came from lesser powers, especially those with only 2 or 3 universe masters. You can certainly draw them to our side. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. We can at least draw some of them to our side so the United Forces Alliance will be weaker, and will be stronger. I'll go to Star Tower now. I'll persuade them to surrender and try to draw some lesser powers to our side. How about the Universe Masters from the 3 races? Asked Primal Chaos City leader. I'll kill them, of course. Luo Feng smirked. It's protocol. After all, only when Luo Feng killed a Universe Master would Sitting Mountain Guest made him a true treasure. Rest assured, Milky Way Horde leader. After this battle, some of the idle races will definitely change their minds, resounded the voice of a Universe Master who had an upper body reminiscent of a human with tentacles as legs. The unity within the United Forces Alliance isn't strong, and now that the Alliance has lost, some will choose to leave. The Alliance won't stop them from leaving unless they want all the other races to rebel. When our race leaves the Alliance, we'll join the Hong Alliance. Wonderful. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. If you join the Hong Alliance, we'll give you some experience from the ancient civilization on how to train yourselves to become Universe Supreme Masters, no matter how the war ends. However, I can't let you go yet. I need Chu Dark Master from your race to come to use first before we let you go. Luo Feng made a promise. I understand, answered the Universe Master with a lower body like an octopus. Of course, he had to say yes. He was kept in Star Tower, and his life was in the hands of Milky Way Horde leader. Luo Feng leaned against the railing and looked down at Thousand Treasures River. Although many Universe Masters had agreed to help the humans during his conversations, he realized that it couldn't actually help much with the situation the human race was facing. However, the human race had to get all the help it could. This war was only a rehearsal. The real war hasn't begun yet. Luo Feng felt the pressure, and he looked out into the endless space. The storm was coming, a storm that would sweep across the entire original universe. The Alliance's loss carried strong implications. To the humans, it was both good and bad. The bad side was that the enemies now realized how dangerous and threatening the humans were. However, the good side trumped the bad side. After all, those neutral powers would come to humans. Demon race territory, an ordinary planet Blood-Tooth star. This had been where an undying fighter from the demon race lived, but now, it was where the 6 powers of the United Forces Alliance talked about business. On the beautiful plain, 6 minds condensed into avatars. They were Dream Demon Ancestor, Shock Demon Ancestor, Bug Empress, Father God, Devil Ancestor, and Holy Master. These 6 Universe Supreme Masters represented 5 superpowers of the original universe. Why isn't the Northern Territory Alliance here yet? Devil Ancestor's tail surrounded all the Supreme Masters, and his red eyes were glaring. Our minds travel faster, said Shock Demon Ancestor. Those from the Northern Territory Alliance need God country transportation and teleportation. We need to wait. After all, that Alliance Master doesn't make the decision, but the Universe Masters do, said Holy Master from Crystal Race. Here they come. They could feel great beings teleporting themselves to this planet. 3 beings arrived. The other 5 forces have already arrived. We're a bit late. The leader of the 3 beings looked like a crystal. He was Star River Master. Star River Master was the most powerful being in the Northern Territory Alliance, and he usually appeared as a dark shadow usually. However, since he was currently meeting the 6 Supreme Masters, he showed his true body. Star River Master, Black Lotus Master, and Liu Landstar Master, said Father God. This is the first time I have seen you all appear together. Lots of powers are involved already. How can we not show up, said Black Lotus Master, a being with a flower-like head. All 3 Universe Masters were out of the ordinary. The Northern Territory Alliance was a super alliance comprised of many various races, and there were around 100 Universe Masters in the alliance. After all, even an elite alliance like the Hong Alliance had around 40 universe masters, so one could imagine how many universe masters a giant alliance like the Northern Territory had. As for the Alliance Master, he was just there for mutual help. Star River Master, Black Lotus Master, and Liu Land Star Master were the truly influential ones. Black Lotus Master represented the 6 plant life forms within Northern Territory Alliance. As for Liu Land Star Master, he represented the most powerful clan in the Northern Territory Alliance, the Liu Lan clan. Star River Master, although he was a special life form, was good at turning back time to save lives, and he had saved lots of Universe Knights using his power. He was to Northern Territory Alliance what Primal Chaos City Leader was to the human race. He was just and respected by many lesser races, and he represented the alliance of special life forms and lesser races. They represented the 3 major streams in the Northern Territory Alliance, so if they agreed, it meant 95% of the members in the Northern Territory Alliance agreed. This was how a loose alliance operated. The unity wasn't as strong as that within the human race or the demon race. Now that everyone has arrived, let's begin, said Shock Demon Ancestor. Everyone knows that we lost the previous fight against the humans. Luo Feng gained a lot from Duandong River, and we can already see how much it contributes to the human race. That Mind Shock Valuable and Black Prison Tower. The human race didn't have either of those before. That's right. Nobody had a Mind Shock Valuable before. As for black striped stone pillars, they're strange objects that can't be moved. The human race is indeed much more powerful. The human race received a lot from the Duandong River inheritance. While they were chatting, Father God suddenly said, "Those don't matter." The other 5 Universe Supreme Masters and 3 Universe Masters looked at him. Inheritance. The important thing is the experience, said Father God slowly. With the experience, there might be more Universe Supreme Masters born from the human race. The Divine Eye clan had 7, and with that inheritance, there might be more than 10 born from the human race. The Divine Eye clan roamed the original universe during the First Universe era and occupied lots of territories. When the human race flourishes, they will occupy more territories, and there will be more life forms, geniuses, and great beings born. It's a cycle. The power of the human race will keep surging. Imagine the Divine Eye clan being 3 times as strong. 3 times as strong. Everyone went quiet. The 7 Supreme Masters from the Divine Eye clan occupied a large territory in the First Universe era. 3 times stronger. 21 Universe Supreme Masters. 3 times the territory. Then all the territories of the 5 pinnacle races combined aren't enough. Devil Master was wicked and angry. No. I can't allow it to happen. There are only a certain number of lives that can be born in the original universe. If the humans become stronger, the other races will get weaker, said Father God. I didn't think the humans were such a great threat before. However, the humans defeated the United Forces Alliance shortly after gaining the inheritance. If we allow them to prosper like that, all the powers in the original universe combined won't be enough to defeat the humans. After that, the human race will be the only superpower in the universe. That's right. They're too powerful. Even Star River Master said, we can't let that happen. The 6 powers reached a consensus. Their territories were their foundation, and if the humans kept getting stronger, their territories would keep getting weaker. The 6 powers, said Bug Empress. It's easy for us to form an alliance, as we all occupy the most important and broadest territories in the original universe, but it's different for the other powers. The Ancestral God School, for instance, is an alliance of lots of special life forms, and their only domain is that Ancestral God secret region, so they don't have any conflicts with the humans. As for the Space Beast Alliance, they don't need a large territory, as the small space beasts all go vagabonding through the universe before they become undying. Those lone Universe Supreme Masters don't need territories, either. That's right. Territories are what bring us together. As for the lone Universe Supreme Masters, the Space Beast Alliance, and the Ancestral God School, they don't care about it. They care more about the inheritance regarding incarnation transcendence. If the humans try to persuade them to join them, they might agree. We must align with all the powers we possibly can, even the lone Universe Supreme Masters, the Ancestral God School, and the Space-Best Alliance. I don't think the humans will actually tell them how to transcend incarnations. Besides, the biggest power in the original universe isn't any of the 9 superpowers. It's not the lone universe supreme masters, rather, it's the combination of those idle races distributed throughout the original universe. Some powerful ones have 1 or 2 universe masters, and all of them combined make up hundreds of universe masters. We need to get as many of them on our side as possible. Although Ancient God Eye was a real threat, a trump card worked best only when it was not exposed. Now that everyone knew about it, however, they were coming up with methods to minimize its harm. The billions of races are all weak. However, all of them combined represent a very large territory in total. If the humans expand their territory in the future, they'll be annihilated as well. We can draw lots of idle races to our side. The 6 powers kept discussing with each other. They were trying everything to strengthen their power and weaken the humans' power. Light rays from the glowing Gemini star far in the distance penetrated the clouds to shine upon Earth. This gave a beautiful orange hue to the layer of clouds. The land beneath was occupied by many green-skinned life forms of the Yang-Ya race. The Yang-Ya race was composed of blood and flesh life forms. They had the lower bodies of wild, 4-hoofed beasts, but their upper bodies resembled humans, other than the fact that they had 4 arms instead of 2. They were born to be lovers of peace, but the moment they got angry, they would become crazed warriors. Peace, tranquility, happiness. These were the main tones of life on the planet occupied by the Yang-Ya race. In a little, elegant, wooden building, a Yang-Ya lady kneeled on her 4-hoofed legs, looking around in a leisurely manner. A streak of light suddenly fell from the sky above and landed right before her. A burly figure took form. His entire body seemed to be made of metal, and he wore purple armor. With his icy eyes, he looked at the Yang-Ya lady who was kneeling and said, "Yang-Ya Master." The Yang-Ya lady revealed a hint of a smile and replied, "Balanced string of the automaton race. My friend, what brings you here? Such a rare sight. The fate of your Yang-Ya race is implicated, too. This involves the rise and fall of your Yang-Ya race. You and I have pulled each other through life and death experiences in Universe Ocean before. How could I not notify you the moment I hear of this?" Balance String Master made himself at home. The fate of my race. The Yang-Ya lady looked at Balance String Master. My automaton race, the Bug Clan, and the Demons have jointly formed a united force of the 3 races, Balance String Master said. We were involved in crossfire with the human camp. You must have heard about it. The Yang-Ya lady smiled and said, "Of course, I have heard about it." The news spread extensively throughout the entire primal universe. For any universe master to not know anything about it would be a rare sight. Crossfire between the united force of the 3 races and the human camp, and ultimately, the 3 races were defeated. This was such shocking news that many other races were in disbelief when they caught wind of it. "Come, try some of this green fruit wine that is brewed by my people." With a wave, a wine glass appeared and floated before the 2 of them. The wine glass had both height and depth. The wine it contained was faintly green and emanated a flurry of aromas. A dark grey, exquisitely sculptured flagon appeared on the ground beside them. Balance String Master got hold of the wine glass and, in a solemn tone, said, "The humans have the inheritance of an ancient civilization. They just obtained it, but they are already so powerful. If we allow them more time, they will develop into a race that is more terrifying than the Divine Eye clan of the first reincarnation era. That's for sure. If they can already defeat the united force of the 3 races, what will happen in the future? I'm afraid that even if the major groups of powers within the primal universe combine forces, they will still not be a match for the humans. Once the humans become that strong, how could they not try to expand? As you know, the human race is quite invasive." The Yang-Ya lady gave small nods. True. In fact, all 6 pinnacle races, the Bug Clan, the Demons, the Automaton race, the Human race, the Prison Clan, and the Crystal Clan were extremely invasive and aggressive. The laws of reproduction for these races were related to their strength and the amount of territory they could possess. The stronger a race, the more territory it could occupy. In the primal universe, Who occupies the greatest territory? Balance String Master continued. Not any of us, the various pinnacle races, but you, the billions of scattered races. Individually, you are all weak, and your lands are small, but when everything is totaled up, you all own a vast chunk of territory. If the humans truly become powerful and invincible, do you think they will let you all off? This war is not only a battle for the inheritance of an ancient civilization, it is also a battle of survival for you and us, the countless other races. The Yang Ya lady stared at Balance String Master. The humans have their original universe. No matter what, there is no way we can exterminate them all. Yes, we are unable to exterminate them, Balance String Master said. A race with Universe Supreme Masters is blessed with a fate freed from extermination, but even if we cannot exterminate them all, we can still suppress them. We can hold their Universe Masters captive as though they are our reward. Or, even if we are unable to capture them, we can at least take over their territories and force them to retreat into that original universe of theirs. Hiding in a small universe and being suppressed by the major groups of powers in the primal universe. The other major powers in the universe ocean will be coveting the same thing. They will also be threatening the humans to hand over the inheritance. In this way, the human race will not be able to advance a single step. They will not dare to let the weaker ones out into the field to hone their skills via life and death situations because they are no longer training or honing their skills through life and death experiences. If the weaker ones are sent into the field, they are going to die without a doubt. The moment humans appear in the primal universe, or within Universe Ocean, they will be besieged and captured. They will then be treated as the bargaining chips of the various top powers during their negotiations with the humans. If that is the case, then no one human can truly rise up and beyond. It will only be the same select few of them, Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City Leader, and a few others, who can wander around and escape for survival whenever they need to. But just the few of them. Even if there are a few more Supreme Masters added, what good does it do for the various top powers? If they are trapped in one place without being able to breed more people and talents, then the human race will be destined to wield limited power. They will no longer be a threat to us. Balance String Master looked at Yang Ya Master. This is why some of us, races who own territory, must fight the humans in this war or make them hand over the inheritance or even suppress them so they cannot execute their power. As for the Supreme Masters who travel alone, in the future, even if the humans get more powerful, there is nothing for them to fear. But this might mean that in the future, they may have no chance to threaten the humans into handing over the inheritance, which is why, if they want to transcend reincarnation, they need to grab hold of this opportunity. In short, Balance String Master said solemnly, be it Supreme Masters who travel alone or the various races like us who have territories, everyone will be laying siege on the humans. Our automaton race, the Bug Clan, the Demons, the Prison Clan, the Crystal Clan, and the Northern Territory Alliance, even the various scattered groups of powers, have all started to join alliances. I believe, if you probe around, you will learn more. If you do not join anyone, you will be ostracized. This time around, if you join a camp, then surely, it will form a highly beneficial interest. You should know. You should know what to do. Yang Ya Master frowned and said, actually, the human race has already sent an envoy to speak with me. An envoy from the human race? Balance String King was shocked. So fast. They said, so long as we do not get involved, they promise never to invade our lands, Yang Ya Master said. Actually, she had refrained from saying something. If the Yang Ya race joined the human camp, the humans would share information on the experiences of the ancient civilization about how Universe Masters could cultivate to become Universe Supreme Masters. And you believe them? Balance String Master snorted. This time around, the war has swept across the whole primal universe. You are my friend, so I shall tell you outright. If you do not take any side at all, when this war is over, your race will come to a most tragic end. And unquestionably, the United Force Camp consisting of major groups of powers is bound for victory. Balance String Master held the wine glass in his hand. To join the victorious party or the losing one, the decision lies with you, Yang Ya Master. Then he tilted his head backward and downed the glass of green fruit wine. Gurgle. Gurgle. This green fruit wine is indeed worthy to be the famous brew of the Yang Ya race. Balance String Master lowered his eyes to look at the wine glass. But if the wrong choice is made this time around, I'm afraid, in the future, there won't be such delectable wine for anyone anymore. Balance String Master immediately transformed into a streak of light and disappeared in the clouds high in the sky. Yang Ya Master was a very influential universe master within the Three Mountains Alliance, which was a secondary group of power. That was why Balance String Master was specially sent over to Yang Ya race to persuade her. If he succeeded in persuading Yang Ya Master, then the possibility of influencing the entire Three Mountains Alliance was much higher. For this war, the possibility of the various races of the United Force winning is indeed very high, Yang Ya Master whispered with a sigh. But the number joining the United Force is getting too many. Even if great beings from the numerous races within Three Mountains Alliance, as well as myself, join the United Force, we would just be like icing on the cake. There is not much purpose for us there. Just how much benefit do we stand to gain? I'm afraid we will be totally neglected. Even if they manage to get some little part of that inheritance from the humans, after much difficulty, with those pinnacle races and supreme masters in the picture, would the United Force give all that inheritance to them, the inconspicuous groups? If we were to join the human camp, we would get some guidance. That is for sure. It's just that the human camp seems destined to fail and be eventually sent to the original universe. Then the races who stood with the humans will find themselves in trouble. By that time, we must combine forces, that is, the many scattered races within the human camp must form an alliance to deal with the attacks. This situation would be equally terrible. The universe masters were no fools. All of them were aware of the advantages and disadvantages of joining either of the two camps. The United Forces camp was almost a surefire win, but there were no benefits to reap, and they had to risk their lives for them. After all, there were already quite a few universe masters being annihilated. The human camp represented almost certain death, but there were also the benefits of gaining the guidance of an ancient civilization. The problem was, after the war, there would be troublesome repercussions. How should they choose? When the United Forces camp was persuading the various scattered races, supreme masters who traveled alone, the ancestral god school, and the Space Beast Alliance within the primal universe, the human camp was doing likewise, brainstorming ways to rope in other groups of races and forces. However, the humans' approach sought to conciliate and placate rather than persuade. Both parties would neither help nor harm one another. The human camp also promised never to invade any other territory that did not belong to them. This condition, as reasoned by the United Forces camp, was meant to exercise some restraint over the humans just in case the expansion of the human race, and them gaining more power, caused them to infringe on the territories and domains of other races. The two camps were thinking of all sorts of ways and methods. However, the decision of the countless great beings of these scattered races would implicate the fate of their entire race. How could they not think it through carefully? This was why, regardless of choosing the human camp or the United Forces camp, there was not much to gain initially. Obviously, those scattered races had already started to interact and discuss among themselves just how should they address the question of joining the two great camps. There was even a new viewpoint being voiced. They would not join either of the two camps. In short, everything was in a mess. Be it underhanded or aboveboard, the two camps were deploying all sorts of methods, for instance, buying over a universe master with a multitude of benefits and thereafter making use of that universe master to lead its group to one's own camp. In short, no one had the intention to scrimp on the various methods they could come up with. They were desperately roping in powers to their side. If one side gained 10 universe masters, it would mean the opponent would have 10 less. To and from. Every exchange would be equivalent to the combat power of 20 universe masters put together. In such a situation, how could they not give it their all? Amidst the endless, deserted starfield, no life form could possibly proliferate. Yet this starfield was where Sitting Mountain Guest laid his territorial rights. Teacher. Right away, Luo Feng went over to Sitting Mountain Guest to pay him a formal visit. Here at my humble abode, personally, said Sitting Mountain Guest. The human camp must be in a crazy hustle and bustle now. Such an important figure like yourself. What brings you here in person? Seems like you have a favor to ask of me. Sitting mountain guest was holding a crystal stone as he made his way down step by step along the stairs. You never come to visit unless you need something from me. Luo Feng broke into a sweat out of guilt and was quick to apologize. I am guilty as charged. In the future, I will make an effort to visit you more, teacher. Sitting mountain guest sat down in a relaxed manner. Let me guess. Your purpose in coming here must be to ask me to make another true treasure with willpower that can exert an impact. And my guess is that you have personally killed a universe master and have video documentation as proof, right? Luo Feng merely nodded obediently. Teacher is indeed impressive. In the future, whether you annihilate a universe master or not, there is no need for you to document it. You just need to inform me. That will do. I trust that you will not lie to me. Sitting mountain guest gave a casual nod. Refining one more is simple. Give me 3 days, and yes, that old beast god from the Space Beast Alliance has asked me for a favor in getting in touch with you. Since you are here, I shall let him know. He will be here shortly. You can meet up with him and discuss matters. Whether the negotiations go through or not, do not worry about me. In this so-called battle of camps and such, I have no intentions of getting involved at all. Old beast god. Luo Feng was shocked. Sitting mountain guest had left and started making another ancient god eye. Old beast god. Luo Feng sat in a quiet palace with his legs crossed, thinking. I can't believe he came to find me first before we went to ask him. There were 3 types of powers the humans needed. The first type was the universe masters from lots of idle races. Individually, they were all weak, yet combining them all made them the most important power. The second type consisted of powers like the Ancestral God School and the Space Beast Alliance, who weren't demanding on territories. The last type were those lone universe supreme masters. Humans were willing to pay a price to draw idle universe masters to their side. After all, it was not going to affect humans' future plans. However, for universe supreme masters, the Ancestral God School, and the Space Beast Alliance, it would be tricky. The humans knew exactly what they wanted: incarnation transcendence. For one thing, the humans couldn't guarantee they would be able to transcend incarnation, as the advanced information was covered by the original mind. For another, those lone universe supreme masters would ask for experience in becoming limit universe supreme masters even if they couldn't get the methods to transcend incarnations. And this experience would be the key to training pinnacle powers in the human race, which was teacher origins level. If some beings from the other races and lone universe supreme masters became as powerful as teacher origin, the humans wouldn't have an advantage over pinnacle powers, then the humans wouldn't become the first power in universe ocean. The humans were waiting to see how many universe masters they could draw to their side, and they were also waiting to see how many of their enemies they could draw and who would stay neutral. If the humans were able to resist the alliance, they wouldn't need the Space Beast Alliance. After all, the humans needed to consider the future. That day, the old beast god arrived around 3 hours after Luo Feng arrived. Luo Feng. His voice echoed in the palace. Luo Feng flew out. He looked at the giant being in space. It had a giant dragon's head bearing 9 horns. The horns were in the shape of crowns, and his long body wielded enormous claws mounted on 9 toes. It's the real body, Luo Feng thought. Apparently, Space Beast Ancestor is sincere. Space Beast Ancestor, said Luo Feng. Space Beast Ancestor extended his body, and he was still looking at Luo Feng. This would be the second time we have met since Beast God Sector. Indeed. Luo Feng smiled. I've been grateful for your help. Ha ha ha. Space Beast Ancestor guffawed. His voice echoed throughout each inch of the space. No need to be grateful. Actually, the Space Beast Alliance had owed Sitting Mountain Guest before, which was why he had allowed Luo Feng to enter Beast God Sector. We're no strangers, so I'll be straightforward, said Space Beast Ancestor. You know the situation quite well. The humans and the Alliance are enemies now. The Alliance keeps drawing powers to its side, and I know many powers have agreed to join them. Some powers have joined us as well, Luo Feng said with a smile. Yes, said Space Beast Ancestor. However, all the powers know what a threat the humans are. Those idle races know, too. Don't mention your promise, as it doesn't mean anything. Everyone will break a promise in certain situations. Surviving is cruel, and when humans become more powerful, promises will be broken. Luo Feng sighed. That means you won't be able to draw as many powers to your side as the United Forces Alliance, said Space Beast Ancestor. Which is why you should cooperate with my alliance, the Ancestral God School, and those lone Universe Supreme Masters. Oh! Luo Feng listened carefully. I've spoken with the 3 ancestral gods before. Space Beast Alliance watched Luo Feng. The Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School will be on the same side. Luo Feng was shocked. The 2 powers had just formed a side of their own. They would certainly have more bargaining power when negotiating with humans or the Alliance. Our requirements are simple, said Space Beast Ancestor. Firstly, we want the experience to become a Universe Supreme Master from a Universe Master. Secondly, we want the guidance to transcend incarnation. Luo Feng, if you and the humans agree, my alliance and the Ancestral God School will join the human team immediately. Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. It was exactly what he had expected. Actually, different powers had different requirements based on their roles. Those weak powers didn't even dare to think about transcending incarnations. The only thing they wanted was a Universe Supreme Master so their race wouldn't go extinct and could live for at least 3 universe eras. Ancestor. Luo Feng stared at Space Beast Ancestor. Don't you know about the original mind? The original mind, said Space Beast Alliance. Of course, I do. Then you should understand that the information about incarnation transcendence and more advanced experience are hidden by the original mind. Luo Feng looked at Space Beast Ancestor. Even we don't know how to transcend incarnations. Space Beast Ancestor said, I've talked with the 3 ancestral gods, so of course, I know about that. You just need to provide us with as much as you can. For example, the experience to become a Limit Universe Supreme Master, and, after that, I'll make efforts myself. Do you agree? Space Beast Ancestor stared at Luo Feng. If you do, then the Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School will join the human team immediately. We won't be the only powers who join, as these conditions are appealing to other lone Universe Supreme Masters as well. It all depends on whether you're willing to give out the information or not. You gain only after you pay. It's up to you. Space Beast Ancestor gazed at Luo Feng. Luo Feng went silent. Did he have a choice? Actually, the lone Universe Supreme Masters, the Space Beast Alliance, and the Ancestral God School couldn't have cared less about humans' power, as they didn't care about territories at all. As for another power thriving in Universe Ocean and a power stronger than the Holy Land, they didn't care about that either. All they cared about was the inheritance and the experience to reach the limit. And as for how to get it, they didn't care about that, either. Whatever would work. Space Beast Ancestor gazed at Luo Feng. After a while, Luo Feng said, Ancestor, what's your decision? Space Beast Alliance was a bit anxious as well, as this had to do with his fate, the fate of his race. Luo Feng responded, I've pondered your offer for a long time, but I can't make this decision myself. I need to talk about it with the other Universe Masters in my race, especially my teacher Primal Chaos City Leader. If they agree, I'll tell you myself, immediately. If they don't, I'll tell Teacher Sitting Mountain Guest to tell you. Okay. Space Beast Ancestor growled. Then I'll be waiting for your response. Space Beast Ancestor disappeared. Luo Feng stood there for a long time. Although Luo Feng's original body was at Sitting Mountain Guest's, he went to contact Primal Chaos City Leader through the virtual universe. Luo Feng, I thought you asked Sitting Mountain Guest to make a true treasure. Why are you here? Primal Chaos City Leader realized that Luo Feng might have something important to tell him. They both sat down. The old beast god met with me and offered me a deal, said Luo Feng. The old beast god? Primal Chaos City Leader was surprised. What sort of deal? The deal I expected. Luo Feng continued. Firstly, the experience from ancient civilization about becoming universe supreme masters from universe masters. Secondly, the experience of how to reach a limit universe supreme master. Primal Chaos City leader frowned. A limit universe supreme masters? That was power at the level of teacher origin. He also said the Space Beast Alliance and the Ancestral God School have formed an alliance, said Luo Feng. Ancestral God School? Primal Chaos City leader frowned. Ancestral God School shouldn't be so hasty. Their requirements shouldn't be as high as that of the Space Beast Alliance. What? Luo Feng was confused. Primal Chaos City leader smiled. You've been adventuring in Universe Ocean since you arose, yet you still don't know some common knowledge. The three ancestral gods are only Universe Masters, not Universe Supreme Masters. What? Luo Feng was shocked. The three ancestral gods were Universe Masters? This is a secret shared among the seniors. Primal Chaos City leader shook his head. For one thing, the three ancestral gods came into being when the Ancestral God School was formed. Do you really think it's so easy for Universe Supreme Masters to be born? And there are 3 of them, and they're all in the Ancestral God School? For another thing, the 3 ancestral gods have never entered Universe Ocean. Also, issues in Universe Ocean are all solved by Universe Masters like 9 Remoteness Master. This video will end here.